Comics are awesome.
From the Comics newsroom, it's time to get you wired in and get your daily dose of the comics news, hosted by Mr. Anderson, who is the unboxable, uncanny, advocating creator who will tempt you with his devilish tales of fetish monsters and more. Join him and his co-hosts as they give you the news coming off the Comics News Wire. Brought to you in association with... Subscribe to IndieVolt.com to recharge your fandom and to get an education. Be sure to check out all of the IndieVolt programming on the Nines with hosts like Randy Zimmerman, The Kid, Varian Grant, The Indie Princess, with more hosts and shows to come.
At Geek Insider, we foster relationships with those in the geek sphere so we can give our audience the insider view of entertainment, tech, and more.
ComicBookAdvocates.com is the global digital Comic-Con, but it's more than that, and you can be more too. Be more than just a fan. Become an advocate for comics like ComicBookAdvocates.com is for their creators, for their crowdfunding, for the very books they're creating, because we love comics. Warning and disclaimer. The views and opinions expressed on this live feed are those of the guests, speakers, and or hosts, and do not necessarily reflect the beliefs, official policies, ethics, or positions of the content providers, advertisers, additional hosts, and or guests, hosting sites, groups, or entities attached to this programming. Viewer discretion is advised. Hello, and welcome to CNW, the Comics News Wire. We're going to be trying some new stuff today. Meredith is going to be my co-anchor. We're going to call ourselves anchors now on this because news programs don't have hosts, they have anchors. We want you to understand this is educational. We are going to be trying stuff today that might sometimes fall flat. This is our pilot season, September's pilot season. What we're going to try to do is we're going to figure it out as we go, and you guys can actually learn from the process as well. I know people are starting to use StreamYard. They want to know, so watching people screw up and learning from our mistakes is valuable. But first, before we get into all that, I wanted to talk to Meredith about Indie Event, because she is going to be doing something this fall that is going to be actually very interesting. Again, challenging the idea of what we think an event can be and redefining what we can do.
Well, Indie Event, I have to update the website because it still has our previous event, which was great. I think we had a lot of fun. We were implementing things like QR codes so that content creators could direct people directly to their selling sites or their crowdfunds. And it was a lot of fun because we invited people to bring their independent shows to our network, and we were sharing it out basically with the trifecta and anybody else who cared to be involved and share it out with their network. And so it was a huge networking opportunity between Geek Insider, Comic Book Advocates Network, and IndieVolt Radio. The one that's happening in November is going to be geared more towards Halloween kind of stuff, but we didn't want to impose on Halloween because we know that's a very busy season and everybody that I know loves Halloween.
It's a religious holiday, damn you.
Basically it is. It's very important to a lot of people. So for some people, it's Christmas to them.
Yeah. If you're not religious, it is your religious holiday.
Yes. So what we're doing is we are inviting people. This is, the brainchild through Geek Insider. I am the basically the program director, the keeper of the calendar. I kind of keep track of that, and I am inviting people right now to participate. So if you want to bring your own show, you are more than welcome to. We would love to have you. The theme is basically horror, thrillers, crime, noir. We're inviting steampunk. We're doing a cosplay. So I've got about 7 weeks to organize a cosplay costume. We've already got the kind of the format set, and now it's a matter of beginning to promote that. So, but as soon as the website is up, we're going to have the details for that. So if you're a cosplayer, or you know people who are, and they're interested, it's going to be in 3 levels. We have the solo cosplayers. We're going to do like the dangerous duo. So it could be a couple, it could be heroes and villain, something like that. And then there's going to be a group aspect, and it's going to have some videos and things. We're going to have some voting. We're going to have, you know, like the crowd favorites and things like that. And we're having prizes. We are reaching out to people who want to sponsor prizes, whether it's makeup, whether it's a wig, whether it's foam. It could be gift card prizes. We don't know. You know, we are reaching out to people aggressively right now who are interested in sponsoring and being part of the program, and, you know, have some advertising through our networks. The other thing is we're opening it up to comic books, writers, filmmakers, TV stars, Zoom stars, whatever it is that you do, podcasters. We're going to have a slew of different programming. We've invited Legend of the Traveling TARDIS. I'm waiting for confirmation from Christian Basil. I've got a tentative confirmation from Phantasmagoria, who is amazing. And then we're looking at some directors and actors from movies featured in Shudder, if you've gone over to their streaming service for horror, as well as Full Moon Features. So additionally, we're doing panels because I love to have informational things. I love to have things that stand the test of time. And what I mean by that, this evergreen content is, if you're interested in hosting a panel that has that information, like because it's horror themed, what are the elements of creating a horror story? You know, what scares the heck out of you? And by having a panel of people there for anywhere from a 1 hour to 2 hour panel of information where people can come by later and go, oh, I'm learning from the industry. That's what we want. So if you've got a panel idea, but maybe you don't have your own live stream, that's okay. Reach out to me. You can reach me at meredith@geekinsider.com, or you can go directly to the Indevent site, INDEEVENT.com. My email should be there so that you can contact me with any questions. If you've got ideas, pitch them to me for panels. If you've got your own show, let me know. I will get you on the calendar because that's what I do. Back to you, Rob.
That's basically what we're going to want to do here is we'll want to try to transition back and forth and share the screens and all that. So at this point, just explaining to what you would do is I would be, you know, this is a small talk session. We're like, oh, that sounds great, the indie event, which it really does. And it sounds fantastic. And QRC codes will be integrated in this next journey, correct?
Absolutely, because I find that is effective, and I've seen people adopt it, which I think is great. Because it's on everything from your ketchup bottles. Why not your website? Why not your crowdfund?
Speaking of crowdfunding, now it's time to transition. So what we're going to be talking about is today's crowdfunding pick of the day, and that's going to be brought to us by Russ, who is just on the show with me. So I'll go up here and look at like the anchor right now, and I'll use my anchor voice. Only Death Can Save Us, a Bronze Age-inspired comic book fantasy. Let's take a look. Didn't I sound professional?
Absolutely.
I was impressed by me.
Bronze Age inspired cosmic fantasy realm, bringing together action and pathos as the ancient elemental known as death leaps from his ethereal retirement to help the young soul protect her loved ones. A world in existence itself.
Now, doesn't that throw you back to earlier comics in newsprint? Doesn't that remind you of the newsprint comics that you had as, you know, when we were kids and we went to the grocery store? And I remember being a kid in a grocery store. Remember your parents would be like, go find something to do when they get annoyed by you because you were trying to put something in the cart or something. Go by the register. When we were kids, no one watched us. We were unwatched. We got lost in stores. People just brought us back to our family somehow. You know, parents didn't freak out. You're muted. You muted yourself.
I was going to say we were always in the toy section or the book section.
Yeah, no one cared. No one cared. They were just like, whatever. So, and this is a great project. It is fantastic. I love the energy behind it. Russ has got such great energy, and he really cares about offering a product that the whole family can read. And there aren't enough comics like that anymore. But, you know, it takes us as creators to make that change. It really does, and he is doing that. And here we go. Only Death Can Save Us is a Bronze-aged inspired cosmic fantasy romp bringing together action and pathos as the ancient element known as death leaps from his eternal retirement to help a young soul protect her loved ones, her world, and even existence itself. And I'm in. Oh my goodness. Yes. There's a giant dude who looks badass as hell running around, and he is death. And of course, you guys know that we use Grim Reaper as the original logo of what is Comic Book Advocates now. We called him WS. He was a Reaper. So just that in itself. And he's the good guy. I love that. Like the big, scary looking MFer is the good guy. So I really, really do appreciate that. So, and now at this point, what we'll cleverly do is mix around where we are, and I'll pass it over to Meredith so she can start reading our news. And this is going to be some interesting news, and she's going to talk about hybrids.
Hybrids, the sons of gods. Oh my gosh, I can't see the screen, but that's okay because Luke Stone is the creator behind this, and he has got a trade paperback that is happening right now on Indiegogo. We're going to be sharing that link out to people. He's so close, guys. He is so close to reaching that $5,000 goal, and then if I don't know if he's extending, so let's get over there and support him, get him to that mile marker, and then he is going to hit in demand, I believe. And by doing that, it is going to allow him to hit the $8,000 mark, which will allow 12 extra pages, of which I sent in a 2-page story for this. So this is going to be very exciting. Now, if you love the Nephilim, if you love ancient aliens, if you love conspiracy theories, if you love all of those kinds of things, you're going to love Hybrids, the Sons of God, Trash Day graphic novel. It carries on with his Hybrids, the Sons of God's individual floppies for that story arc, but he's got more information in it. He's adding pages to it, and it ties in with Seraphina issue 0 as well. It helps to know that I'm familiar with this campaign, Rob. Thanks.
And I didn't realize you couldn't see the screen. We're only $714 away. 16 hours to go. You guys can make this happen. We're going to take a quick look at that video and play it for you guys. Only a little bit. It's a little bit of a we have a shorter version. There's a longer version on this actual Hybrids Indiegogo platform. We have just a quick preview for you.
New from Terraform Comics, Hybrids, the Sons of Gods, Volume 1, Trash Day. When everyday people develop godlike abilities, it is up to a small band of heroes to expose an evil superhuman trafficking ring. This 128-page volume merges history with fiction in an exciting, fast-paced adventure. Get your copy now.
$16 hours to go. Make sure that you're backing it and you're part of what is Hybrids. And
yeah, and you know what? Okay, so you said $714 left until it reaches goal. Here's the thing: if you are familiar with the book and you're not quite sure that you want to get the trade paperback, but you want to throw support, buy him a cup of coffee. It's a $5 donation, but you know, why not upsell a little bit and maybe gift it to somebody who would like it? You know, Christmas isn't that far away. Would make a great stocking stuffer, something under the tree.
Well, it's a trade, so this would make a great gift. It's not just a single issue. This is going to have a beautiful cover. It's going to be something that you can really enjoy. I definitely suggest that you guys invest the energy into getting this. And any comic is a great time. It's a great thing during this Christmas season coming up for a gift. It's something you can give someone. Don't also forget to give someone possibly a gift certificate to a local comic book shop if you know they are into comics, including what we'll be doing in Terraform, giving out gift cards this season. So we're going to be selling prepaid gift cards for you guys to have. So you can give it to your family member. They can come to our site and redeem that code. And we'll be giving out it'll be a very specific code. We'll tell them, you could tell them how much they spent because on gift cards, and we'll tell them what they can spend if they reach out to us. So we'll even make up a printout. I think we were talking about doing like a printout, which you can say, gift card to terraformcomics.com. And I'm sure there are other established brands that are going to do that. And we're going to be happy to advocate for all of them, comicbookadvocates.com right now. As we go into the newsroom, I just want to remind everyone that you can reach us in the newsroom by just going to comicbookadvocates.com and actually going right here to our mailroom and just simply sending us an email. How easy have we made it? Now we're going to transition over to our indie news segment. Now, Meredith, you said you can't see the screen?
I can, kind of, sort of.
Okay. Hopefully you can see it because so when I pass it back to you, it'll require you to do a little bit of reading at times. So if you can't read it, it's just going to be a little bit awkward, but we're going to try it anyway. So I'm going to pass it over to Meredith, and we're going to start talking about some of these stories, but I think I'll try to blow it up so you can see it better.
Yeah, that would be helpful.
How's that? We'll blow it up nice and big. Here it is. There. I think that's good.
Yeah.
So here we
can read that now.
All right. So go for it. This is
all right. So we've got Kevin Gunstone. Now I can't see it because it's small, and I have a huge monitor. That's kind of crazy. Okay. Sacrifice Future Primitive. Instagram at Studio Azoth, Studio AZOTH for anybody who's following, and on Twitter F Primitive Comic. So this I don't really know that much about it.
A lot of this stuff we're just reading. It's informational.
Oh,
so
okay.
You don't have to put a spin or an opinion. For the news, the one thing I love about it is you give it to us. So I'll say this to our writer: great art, great photo, but you didn't give me anything to read. So now in the news, Meredith really doesn't know what else to say. She's like, cool.
I'm like, more glorious future primitive art by Boban and Stefan.
And that's great, but give us something to talk about on these programs. Even on social media, we need something to talk about, right?
Just a short pitch, 1 or 2 sentences is all we need. We can be the elevator pitch for you when we are talking about your campaigns to our audience. But we need a little bit more than an image and your Twitter account.
Do you know what time this is going down? I believe this is this afternoon.
I thought it was this evening.
Is it? It's because it was 12. Yeah, this evening it was 12 hours at 8 a.m. I'm not getting up early. I have to get up at the crack of dawn, and I literally mean that now with Jax to get him to school. This is finding inspiration for a comic book. This is going to be on our good friend John the Animator's YouTube channel, and it's going to have the one, the only Luke Stone. So this is going to be exciting. And now you'd read the next story, so I would pass it off. So we trade off stories.
That sounds good. Okay, we've got Innsmouth. He is one of the main characters in the story. Our launch is next. Share and be part of this exciting comic of horror, monsters, blood, and rockabilly. Ooh, that's interesting.
And he looks
rockabilly monsters.
Right?
You know what? Isn't Swamp Thing coming out? This would go. That would kind of go like. Oh no, I don't.
Trademark. We don't. No. Monsters.
Really?
Okay.
It's news. We can talk about it. Damn it.
No, but I'm saying you can't. He can't use Swamp Thing because Swamp Thing.
Oh no. I'm just saying that like with all of that coming out, it just seems like that whole universal mind thing. Where we're kind of, I think last year was kind of zombies and vampires and things like that. And now we're kind of going into the water, which I think is kind of cool.
But also, I think with the beer bug, we've kind of gone back to our more classic things. Like, no one wants to talk about vampires because we're kind of dealing with stuff like that right now in the real world. So I think you're going to see people withdrawing and going further back into the fantasy realms where they can get lost. Ooh, let's worry about the guy coming from the water.
Yeah.
Like a shark with missiles. Hi, Ben. How you doing?
Hi, Ben.
Hi, Ben.
I was wondering if you were going to segue into that.
Yeah, he has a great thing called Shark of War. And now this would be my turn. From Morgan Austin, we have the Patreon community. We're in love. I love women, who doesn't, watching 2 or more girls. And I just thought that was such a clever play on words. You know, he doesn't imply what it is. You know, it's Patreon, so you're like, what could this be? But then you realize Patreon's gotten rid of nudity. No, I'm kidding. I don't know that. How would I know that? No, this looks great. I like the line work, and this is interesting, and he's definitely got a great sense of humor, so we wanted to show that. And now, Meredith, talk to us about what this is all about.
Okay, let's see here. You got to scroll down just a little bit more.
And we don't have anything.
We don't have anything. It's a nice...
I think this is just a mistake. Every so often Facebook screws up. Yeah, here we go. There was actual information on this one. Can you read it? Because I can blow up.
No, I can't.
Okay, let me see. If you can't read this, I can read it now.
All right. Today's awesome Zener promotional art is done by Layla. Is it Layla?
I believe that would be Layla.
Layla Barakai, a.k.a. Bilimbi of Instagram and Twitter, who did this amazing dynamic commission of Zener. You can follow her on Twitter and Instagram.
Hashtags.
Rob, where would this be so that people can actually go and hit the link to their Indiegogo?
Well, you can just go to comicbookadvocates.com. This is in our newsroom this week. And if you miss it this week, at the end of every week, we not only put on Geek Insider all the stuff that we have done this week, but also on Comic Book Advocates itself. It's archived as the newsroom. You have every single day of the week shown up. We have all the videos. It's a great package you guys can look at. This is on Indiegogo now. We have not gotten full permission to show the Indiegogo yet, as we would on our crowdfunding, but this is just an advertisement for it, so we wanted to give it a shout out and show some love.
And that was posted by Alex Daw, and I suspect because of all the hashtags that it was probably posted on Instagram.
Yeah, probably a trace back, and I think that's sometimes the problem we have with it. And I'll tell you what, I'm a zinger too. No, wait. It sounds dirty. All right, so CB Zane, speaking of sounding dirty, he has that interesting thing. So they turned a Kickstarter into a Comic-Con. I've been very confused about it. I don't know. It's like a virtual event. They have a lot of stuff going on. It's definitely super interesting. I don't know how it's going to pan out, but they're making money. I'll tell you that. They're making money. They got great artists in there. CB Zane happens to be one of the great artists. And he goes on to say, been working hard all week. Well, walking the Comic Unity convention floor all day, standing in line to get your program signed by Wendy Steen Shin, sitting for, is that his Shin? Sitting for endless hours. What she said, sitting for endless hours at Tom Hutchinson's world building panel. Well, you deserve a Comic Unity online convention special snozberry flavored ice cold beer. I'll be serving them at the concession stand with Yeleni D. Napoli, maybe. Yeah, she adds the flavor. And the Mighty Might, she ain't old enough to drink, so she has to serve them. I don't know if you can serve them, CBZ. If you're not old enough to drink them, I don't think you can serve them. Well, actually, no, it's not true. Waitresses at things. I sit corrected on the show. Special $20 beer cover now. That's what I think is kind of confusing about this campaign. I get what they're doing, but it's confusing now to someone who's not following very closely. Like, are you kidding, or is there really beer? Like, those are natural things.
I'm looking at the cover and there's beer. So is that the beer cover? I kind of like the play on word.
This is the beer cover, and it covers not so much than just the beer. There's a lot shown here for you guys at home. There's a lot to look at, guys. There's a lot to look at, and with that in mind, Meredith, look at this. You're up.
Okay, so we've got episode number 4, Indie Comics Hall. What's in the box? That is a great question. So this is a link to the YouTube channel, What's in the Box, episode 4, Indie Comic Book Haul. In this episode of What's in the Box, Indie Comic Haul, I will go through the following. And it looks like he's got Ego Raven, Magica, and I can't tell what the cover is.
Warcorn.
Okay, and so he's going to be talking through that. I know Ego Raven had. I have an advanced review copy as well, so I'll be doing a review later.
You notice there's like a theme here. It's like unicorns and
fantasy, definitely.
There's a theme going on for that, so that's definitely interesting. It's our boy Phil. Phil joined the movement that is all about creating exposure for the indie creative team's members out there. Support in any way possible. Please at least share this to get out and attention for my weekly guests. And here it is, Demon Nation. He's got a T-shirt. You know, there's someone else who's coming out with a T-shirt, and it looks pretty damn good for his fans. The self-proclaimed Sinners Club. So that'll be a convention thing, though. That'll be a convention and an online thing. Demon Nation looks pretty cool. You know, I like a girl with green eyes, so I'm a sucker. I'm a sucker for a girl with light eye color. So
is that what you were looking at, Rob?
Honestly, yeah. Like, I know it sounds weird. I know I don't like this particular art style, to be 100% honest, and to stay true to myself. This looks kiddie, and I don't like when kitties mixed with sexuality.
Mm-hmm.
That's just my own take on it. I'm not telling anyone. Everyone's grown-ass adults. You do you. But to me, I don't even like when they try to make porn out of like cartoon characters. And we've had crush. Like I had a crush on April O'Neil, but I don't want to see Turtles doing something to April O'Neil. Just don't want to see it. No, 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 no. And for those who don't know, the original, and this is not actually BS, this is the truth. The original Ninja Turtle comic book used to have them having tails. Did you know that, Meredith?
I've heard something about that, but I haven't actually looked back to see.
Do you want to know why they had to get rid of the tails?
Why?
Because when they were standing there with their legs open, there was just this little thing swinging down between their legs, and people started thinking it was something else. And I was like, it's a tail.
It's a turtle. Do you know turtle anatomy at all?
Really? Have you ever seen a turtle penis? Go look up a turtle penis. A duck penis is actually the more interesting one. Corkscrew? Not kidding. Not kidding. It's a corkscrew penis. I'm just being accurate. It is the news. We're just telling you what's really out there. I'm sorry. You have to take that up with God. I don't know why God made it that way. And our good friend Phil has some information for us. Phil Locklear, the demon, says Comic Unity online comic event, bringing the experience of the convention to you since we cannot get to them at the time. 30 days of convention experience, including exclusive add-on covers, cosplay contests, and more. Tom, well, we saw those names. Phil, if you want to jump in and kind of explain it to me, I've been asked a couple times how it's supposed to run. I'm confused about it. I do know that there's a Kickstarter. I do know there's multiple people involved with that Kickstarter, but I have not seen a lot of online events that make it look like it's an actual Comic-Con. I haven't seen like middle of the day pop-up events. Am I wrong? Am I looking in the wrong place? Is there a group that someone should sign up to? So even if you want to put it in the comment section, we could either give you a link. As a matter of fact, I should get a link. I'm offering.
Yeah, that way we're not giving wrong information either.
Yeah.
You know, because that was the thing. You know, I see a lot of information. I see covers, I see T-shirts, I see books and things like that, and then I'm kind of directed to a Kickstarter. So I don't know exactly what it is. Is it all of it? But we don't want to give the wrong information or the wrong impression to anybody. You know, we would just basically like to know so that we can share it out to our network.
He will be able to jump on, but definitely get this T-shirt. I know I'm going to get one. I'm just going to try to convince him.
No, Phil says my hair is a bit messed up, but I can jump on.
Yeah, he has it. I'm going to convince him to get to. There was a different image he had for a different T-shirt. I'm going to see if I can get that one. And he said, great for Zoom meetings, FaceTime with your kids and teachers, or Xmas gifts for grandma and grandpa. Get your demon on from the hottest news live stream show on the web, Demon Nation and Phil Locklear. Okay, so now right away we've just got to yell at him. You think you have the hottest one? Have you seen The Devil's Advocate? I literally have burning flames in the background. Literally burning flames. What more can I do to make it any hotter? Demon Phil, welcome to the news. So explain to us, because we are a little confused, I'll be honest. What is going on with this online convention? So I get the Kickstarter aspect. I think it's clever. It's something I actually pitched to Terraform a few weeks ago, doing a similar thing. But I don't understand the outside aspect. So please inform our viewing audience and listening audience on the radio what exactly is going on.
Now, this is what I know about it just from going ahead, and I've had a couple of interviews with the Trinity, as I call them, that are in here, which is Tom Hutchison, Wendy Steen Shaner, and CB Zane. As far as the con is concerned, there's a book that's on Kickstarter. I mean, there's always something that's going to be sold on there, but it's a very different setup that's on here. The book itself actually has 3 new characters that are brought about by each of the different creators that are on there. So Tom, CB, and Wendy, they all have 3 different characters. Tom has Catnip, Wendy has Sireness, and CB has Mighty Might. These 3 are going to be in one book as an anthology, 64 pages. And that is the book that's on there. It has, I think, 3 different covers are available for each one. There's not a lot of covers that are available on here right now, but that's because they're adding in different things for the convention side of things. So the $20 beer, that was actually an idea that was brought about on one of my shows. It was one of the audience members brought it up whenever I had Tom up there talking. And whenever Tom got done and we got in the green room, he was like, I've got an idea for a $20 beer now. And of course, he's not telling me at the time. And then whenever I saw this, I was like, that was a good one. So the $20 beer is basically, we're not able to go to the cons. And it was a joke about $20 beers, $15 hot dogs. I'm kind of scared about that one, actually.
I would be too.
But they have different things that they're doing to kind of make it an experience. Now, they've gone a step further with the $20 beer, that if you go ahead and get the $20 beer that's available right now through the 26th, if I'm not mistaken, is the date on there. Don't quote me on that. But if you get it between now and then, for every 100 backers that they show that are on here, that are up to this point and have gotten the $20 beer, then he's going to throw in one foil $20 beer that's going to be randomly thrown out to one of these backers that does this. So right now there are 2 foils that are being thrown out there. So that's a 2 of 2 scenario. If there's only 3 foils out there, that's 3 in existence. There will be no more of these. So it is serious bragging rights and whatnot to go ahead and do this. But that's only one of the things. And they also have the cosplay contest, and that's really starting to catch some fire underneath it right now. The thing with the cosplay contest, you can only cosplay as one of the 3 characters that are in the book. That gets very interesting because I think they've got like 4 or 5 people that are doing it per one of them there. And I've seen some of the photos because they're starting to post them up on Facebook. They're going all out on this contest. The stipulation is everybody that is on the Kickstarter wants to just go look at it or whatever. You can look at it. You can see the contest and everything. If you're not backing, you cannot vote. So you cannot vote to see who wins. Now, what do you get if you win? If you win, you get your cover is going to be made and put into this and $500. So there's a lot at stake at this because not just the $500, but the fact that you're on a cover with this big of a scenario, that gets you a lot of attention that way.
Yeah, but Demon Phil, I have to call you out for being sexist. There is no male thing that I can dress up as. I'm not going to look as good as the Mighty Might. It's just not going to happen. I don't have the boobs for it. I got the butt for it, but I don't have the boobs for it.
I have the boobs for it, but they stay covered in cotton comfies. And I have to tell you, when I was speaking to Wendy, I said, you know what? Why don't you have like this old granny in like long robes or something like that? Everything's kind of sexy.
That's what I'm saying. Like I want to be.
I don't do sexy.
Didn't Thor teach us that it's okay to be fat and out of shape with big muscular arms? I'm all happy with that.
What happened to the dad bod characters? I want more of those shown.
Right.
Big up top and comfortable downstairs, you know?
I would much rather have a party ball than a 6-pack. I'm just saying.
That's what I'm talking about. Everyone says they want a 6-pack. Let me tell you, when you get really jacked, girls don't like it because you're not comfortable to cuddle on. I'm being dead serious. I have had girls, you are like a rock. And I'm like, thinking back to being like a little teenage me, and they're like, you're so small. Why don't you get some muscle? I hate you. Bob Brush. All right. Thanks for being on, Demon Phil, and setting us straight. We'll have you on a show again in the near future.
Hey, no problem. And thank you for bringing me on here. And thank you for showing that shirt, because that's definitely going to help keep the guests coming on and keep the show going on. So I certainly appreciate the shout out.
Anything we can do, you have an open invite to come advertise anytime you need to.
Appreciate it. And I'll be looking for my center shirt as well.
Yes. And if you want to get another shirt, there was that other one that you had, the demon one, where there was a bigger chested girl. Like, I'm all for that one.
I'm working on some stuff. We'll put it that way.
Yeah. All right, Demon, thanks for being part of it. All right, we're going to get back to the news, and we're going to start with Victor Dandridge had some information. We're going to let Meredith, it gets super dark where she is.
It got super dark.
And it's like, that must be a DC film being filmed over there. So go ahead, take us away, Victor Dandridge's news. And this is Trouble with Love. This is the Phase 1 timeline.
Right, Phase 1 timeline. All right, Victor Dandridge Jr. says, since we're still waiting on the hashtag, the Trouble with Love Kickstarter to be approved, I thought to share another behind-the-scenes tidbit. As movie fans became enamored with the MCU's early films, we discovered the release order wasn't always the same as the chronological order of events. For the most part, Iron Man 1 and 2 happened before both Incredible Hulk and Thor, which almost happened at the same time. Guardians of the Galaxy 1 and 2 are supposed to be a matter of months apart, and both Cap's, America and Marvel, inaugural features take place decades before Tony Stark is ever abducted. Even though they were conceived and written to be standalone stories, figuring out a timeline that they could all exist was the first step to building a shared multiverse. For marketing purposes, we tended to focus on readership ages, all ages, teen, young adult, and mature, which especially dictated our convention setup. But continuity and other plans and what you see below is the order that events actually would have happened, covering a range up to 20 years between Origins Unknown, Somewhere I Belong, to Wonder Care Presents The Kinder Guardians #1. What is that, TTWL? What does that mean? Anyway, that sits nicely in the middle, and the rest of the expansion revolves perfectly from there. Some of these, you're on mute.
That's why it didn't work. I was like, I'm saying it. Why isn't she picking up? The Trouble with Love. The Trouble with Love. TTWL is The Trouble with Love. And I don't know why Kickstarter's not opening it. Like, probably because it's not a live link yet. Because he's waiting. Because for those who don't know, this is a bit of news. If you've been on Kickstarter lately, you've noticed that your crowdfunding campaign is not being approved as quick as it once was. That has a lot to do with the fact that there was some issues in the past where Kickstarter, this is a rumor, I cannot confirm, but the rumor going around is that Kickstarter had allowed some very flagrant IP violations to pass through the dam, as it were, that should have stopped it, and they got spanked. So now they're spending a lot more time looking at your campaigns. Not just that, but Keanu Reeves showing up on crowdfunding. Now your grandma's on Kickstarter with something. Your uncle's going to Kickstarter with something. Everyone's going to Kickstarter right now, trying to kickstart ideas and stuff. So they're looking to make sure that's not people just coming to cash grab, and making sure that they really have a product. Because the worst thing you could do right now is run to Kickstarter and go, I plan to make a comic book. They don't want that. They want something that's tangible, that you have proof of concept. And one person who has proof of concept is our good friend Silvio Spatio, who has Sword of Justice on here. And this is, of course, from Top Secret Press. And he goes on to say, Sword of Justice 1 and 2, enter a future Earth ravaged by violence and pestilence. Man lives in ignorance and strife, laboring for the gods. Mankind needs a sword, for they strive for revenge. They should have put vengeance. Vengeance would have been better, my friend Silvio. Strive for vengeance. Published by Top Secret Press by Silvio Spatio and Veronica R. Lopez. And that's on Kickstarter now. And we did just get off the Breakfast Buzz. I was live there. You guys can see. It's on my timeline. We had some great guests this morning. And this I did. Yeah, and I did a live last night, and I think this is an important live, and it doesn't specify it. But for anyone who's been bullied in this industry, for anyone who's had their name attacked behind the scenes, for anyone who's been called out for things they didn't do, this is for you. This is you guys understanding the reality of the situation and dealing with it. And I think that you'll get a lot from this conversation and learning how to just deal with when you're a public figure, someone attacking you. And we're going to take a quick bump here for our friend Mark Darden, who we're going to shrink back down to human size for a second, and we're going to let him talk about Guano Guy.
Hey, Mark Darden, creator of the Guano Guide, and the Guano Guide is currently live on Kickstarter. And today we're adding a $1 pledge level where the day you pledge, I'll send you a short story of the Guano Guide, PDF form. It's a really fun story that Alexander Unlin and I did together, and it shows you all that the Guano Guide is about. It is hilarious. And maybe after you read it, you'll want to upgrade and get more stuff. But if you don't, either way, we'll still put you on the thank you page because we appreciate all support here at the Guano Guide. I'm Mark Darden. Thanks for checking out.
Now, how cool is that, Meredith? $1, you get a book right away. He believes in his product so much that he will give you the book so he can convert you to get more of it if you like it. And if you don't like it, no harm, no foul. $1, you supported him. It's all he can ask for. That's what I like to see from a creator.
You know what? He's very enthusiastic about his book. He just wants people to read it. And that's something that I really love and appreciate about Mark Darden. You know, the passion that he has for his products.
And that's it comes through. And our good friend Anthony Figueroa, make sure you like and share. Metal bookmarks have arrived. If you haven't backed God's Hand, make sure to back it today on Indiegogo and get your own exclusive Metal God's Hands bookmark. More to come. I'm not a fan of bookmarks. I'll be honest. I love Anthony. The art looks great. I'm not a huge fan of bookmarks simply because I lose them. So if I got this, it would be more of a collector's item. They just fall out, especially comic books. Unless I'm reading a graphic novel, and most of the time when I'm reading graphic novels, I get sent them. And Meredith knows that Geek Insider is now asking me to do reviews on occasion. So I get the PDF version. So I don't really need a bookmark. I would more keep this as collector's item because they look that damn cool.
Oh, yeah, they're definitely cool.
Yeah, you could even put these on your wall, like as a little souvenir thing. So they're definitely worth checking out. And if you're going to be checking things out, check out Cat Dad and Supermom. Actually, I'll let Meredith talk about this one.
I love Cat Dad and Supermom. An elephant never forgets. This is an all ages book. It teaches morals. It's the story of Jax and when he goes through how to deal with bullying and things like that. Rob and I have had a few discussions about this book. Really, this is available on Indiegogo in demand. Go over there and support this book. I think it's great for the classroom. I think it's great for kids of all ages, and that includes a 50-year-old, or older. If you are a grandparent, get it and read it to the kids. I mean, it is such a great story, and the art it's bright, it's colorful, and it's very attractive. And Rob, I'm not sure. Do you have the variant covers available on Indiegogo?
Yes, actually, for those who don't know, the only cover that won't be reproduced was actually the standard cover. And I always like to do something special. So if you back the standard cover, you got a collector's item. Only 111 of those will be produced. The variant covers will be in print indefinitely. They will be, the artists are allowed to reprint them if they need to, and I didn't want to take that away from them. They're allowed to continue to reprint their version of those virgin covers. So yes, all of them are currently available. And I think we're actually going to be offering one through Guano Guy soon. So stay tuned to Guano Guy, back it, and see if maybe you can get your hands on Guano Guy, Cat Dad at the same time, and another exciting title. So stay tuned. Derek Jefferson was very kind. He said, I'm about to do an interview with me, Rob Anderson, at 9 p.m. I know it's last minute, but try to tune in and try to share it on your Facebook page. And he was a great guest on Tuesdays, Indie Vault Live, so I wanted to give him a shout out. And our friend Damian Starr has something from Smallest Stone. He said, we are excited to announce the next project we have talked about a bit in the past as an unnamed project, but the time has come to share some details. The Small Stone is an anthology of stories which depict a seemingly small decision that can change the course of your life. Do you want to take this over, Meredith?
If you can make it a little larger, I can.
Because I'm about to cough, so I'll pass it to you so I can quietly cough.
All right, so we are excited to announce our next project. We have talked about it a bit in the past as an unnamed project, but the time has come to share the details. The Smallest Stone is an anthology of stories which depict how a seemingly small decision can change the course of your life. This anthology will feature 3 stories, each drawn by a different artist. The The featured artists are Gauze Moses of Skull Punch Graphics, The Art of Gauze Moses. I think I'm saying his name wrong. John Running, The Art of John Running, who did one of the variant covers for Take Your Kid to Work Day, and Chris Mad at Art of Chris Mad, who worked on Dead End Kids in 2019 and No Heroine, on shelves now at your local comic shop. Each of these stories will have a unique art style and will tell 3 very different stories, which are all bound by a common theme. We are fine-tuning scripts right now, and we'll be launching the campaign very soon. Stay tuned for more details.
That sounds fantastic, and we can't wait to talk more about it. Just like we talked on Indie Vault about all these great people, we had just talked about how we had Derek on the show, and we had Mike Seeley there, Chad Nuss, Thomas was with us, Greg Wright, of course, there's Randy. I don't know why the screen cap took the one moment where no one was on screen but 2 guys. It's just the 2 guys in the room just looking like they're waiting for everyone else. It's the weirdest screen grab I've ever seen Facebook do, but hey, Facebook, you do you. And I don't know why Damien is twice here. That sometimes happens under our new things. And of course, today we learned about this, and Meredith was nice enough to pass this to me while I was live. Give him a shout out.
You know what? Honestly, this was great. Mr. Fishley, kudos to you. He's got Tourette's himself. He is writing I think this is an all ages book. It really deals with Tourette's and some of the struggles that they do and overcoming it and just being super about it. So Tourette's Life, The Art of Mr. Fishley. Definitely go visit his Facebook page, go to his website as well, and give it some love.
Okay, and that's weird. My son's school has they're changing up, I guess, how they're doing school pictures this year. They're making it pre-sale only. I've never seen that before. So yeah. I mean, this is just a changing economy. So that's a reminder that you guys got to support these creators out there, because things are getting weird in the world, and we're being made to pay things up front like we never did before. So please support people like the All-Star Comic people who do a book about bullying, and check out their baby. This is like Baby Yoda, but so much cuter. It's their own character.
Baby Alien?
What's that?
Baby Alien.
Well, it's not an alien. It's a monster. So back to the monster theme. Remember we were talking about? So this is a monster in the book, but it's an important part of the book. He's cute and adorable. Get your copy. We're trying to sell T-shirts now, too, because I'm a T-shirt whore. I'll be honest. I put on a shirt and tie so I can be respectful. This is me as the advocate trying to earn your respect, trying to show you how much comics mean to me, that I'll sit in my house in Florida in a shirt and tie. But I love T-shirts. Anyone who knows me knows I love T-shirts. I want to try to get me one of these T-shirts. And I like T-shirts like this. Like, I don't know if anyone knows this, but if you watch my You're Not Alone series, you know it. I go to the gym with all of my logos on my chest. I literally go to the gym with free hugs and spanks, and I'm, sweating. Muscles are like out there. There's like, I'm beating sweat, and then it's just free hugs and spanks. And people just give the weirdest looks, but also people I've seen look up and talk to me about the books I make. So if I wear a shirt like this in the real world, I can build awareness. Even my sister wears Stabby Bunny T-shirt from place to place, and people stop and ask her, hey, what's that? So that's a great way to help the creators that you like by getting there and doing that. I don't know why it redid this again. The new block system from WordPress sometimes doubles things up. I don't know. It drinks on the weekend, is my assumption. But we're going to head over and we're going to do mainstream news now. So we're going to head over. Who's mainstream news brought to us by? Meredith?
Mainstream News Market? Presented by what? Indie Vault?
There you go. You got it.
Indie Vault presents Mainstream Market News. I thought you had a video for this.
No, we just transition, honestly. But I figured I'd throw it out there, see if you could catch what I was putting out there. You did good. To recharge your fandom, subscribe to the YouTube channel today and be part of the Indie Vault Recharge. And we're going to head over to our Thursday's Mainstream Market Watch. And here we go. I hate when you click it and it won't go away. This was an interesting article, and I can confirm now that the publisher, not the publisher, but the author behind this will be in attendance to talk to us about this. This is by another Rob. Winners and losers from 6 months of virtual events. Now, indie event wasn't mentioned, so I'm going to ask him how we were skipped. But I definitely think it was a bigger look at the bigger industry as a whole. Some great insight in this, and definitely an article you should read. And it's in our newsroom right now. And our next thing up is, check this out, Meredith. Are you a fan of Ghostwriter?
I am.
That's the new Ghostwriter.
Is it really?
No kidding. They are redoing Ghostwriter, and he looks sick. And this is what they said about it. You want to go ahead and can you read that? Is it big enough?
See, I am excited to be able to journey back to the Ghostwriter corner of the Marvel Universe and revisit Michael Badalino and Vengeance. When I came up with the idea for Vengeance a few years back, I thought, what if there were a version of Ghostwriter who could take the gloves off, not hold back, forget about penance? You know, what if Ghostwriter wasn't such a wimp? In this book, we get the beginnings of an unchained vengeance. Ooh.
You don't know. He was basically Ghostwriter, like he said, unleashed. This is the unabridged version of Ghostwriter doesn't care. Just freaking badass. So,
now, do you think so? Is this a total reimagining, like do-over, or is this kind of like the prequel to?
I think it's just him going back to a character he loves because he created the character. So I think he's going back and just re-upping like everything that worked. Let's turn the shit all the way up. And I can say shit for that one just because this is cool as shit. I don't even know it now. This is a badass moment where cursing is allowed on the news because look at that. He's literally breaking chains on the cover. Come on, man. Come on. This is awesome. Marvel seems to be in good steps. But did you hear what Olivia Wilde did?
I saw something about it, but I didn't click on it yet.
Read it. Read the thing.
Olivia Wilde is directing a Marvel movie for Sony. All signs with Kate. It's Spider-Woman.
And here's what she wound up saying by accident.
Ooh, so the quote is trying to avoid Kevin. How do you say his last name?
Fergie. That's at least how they've told me every time I've heard anyone say it's Fergie. Kevin Fergie.
Okay, because I don't see an R in there. Trying to avoid Kevin, because I would say probably Feige then.
Maybe it is Feige. Maybe it is Feige. I think maybe I'm getting.
Okay, so trying to avoid Kevin Feige's pellet gun, Wilde is joking about Marvel's famous reputation for speaking about films.
So this is brought to us, of course, by. Oops, I won't scroll. This is brought to us by comicbook.com, as was the Ghostwriter story. The reason this is important is Sony is doing that. So why is Kevin Fergie, what we agree it was? Feige? Feige, there we go, Feige. Kevin Feige, what's he doing over at Sony? Why is he telling Sony what to do? So a lot of people are raising eyebrows like, was that just a, hey, he's in charge of this and I'm just trying to be nice and mention his name? Or has he been around the studio poking his nose into things that Marvel shouldn't have a say in? So we're going to have to keep an eye on that. And Comic Book Shop, we have this to give to Comic Book Shop. Is that Shoppy? If they put an E there, is that Shoppy now?
No, but Shop is, like is usual. Oh, Comics Hope, maybe.
Yeah, so they're giving. Oh, it's Hope. I'm reading it wrong.
Yep, Comics Hope.
Sorry, dyslexic moment. I literally saw the SHOPE, and I didn't realize it was attached to comics. Like it got too close, so I read it as COMiX.
I did the same thing, but then I saw the different colors in their logo there.
Yeah, so be careful with your colors and your logos. When they're too close, an eye doesn't catch it too quickly. Apparently,
there's a difference between the rapist and therapist. I'm just saying.
So this is pretty cool though. Comics Veteran Unite for Give Comics Hope fundraiser, and this is it's launching with a charitable auction to benefit comic book stores. I dig it. This is from a new site that we really haven't featured yet, comicwatch.com. So far, I'm impressed by the storytelling at comicwatch.com, so we're going to be paying attention to what they're covering as well. And now, Meredith, we have some good news.
Oh, okay. Marvel's WandaVision confirmed to debut in 2020. The immediate future of the Marvel Cinematic Universe remains in flux in the wake of the pandemic. But if you click on the article, you can read more about it.
Yeah, and it's good news. We're going to get some new content because we haven't had anything from Marvel this year.
You know, and to the previous article that you had, Phil Locklear says they did that on purpose to give it a dual meaning, and he loves it. So COMiX Hope and COMiX Shop. That makes sense.
That does make shop, actually. Some bad news, though. If you're a fan of Stumptown, it got canceled.
Oh, no, was it? I actually like that show.
I really like the show. I was happy it got renewed, and despite that renewal, ABC has decided to cancel it. However, this could just be a trend that we might have to wait and see for. A lot of shows are now looking at trying to go back to production. And for those who don't know, this was actually filmed in it's Seattle. It's filmed in Seattle, if I'm not mistaken. And for those who know about the beer bug, as they're calling it, that's a hot spot over there. That's a place where they're not looking to gear back up, and I just think that they can't get the production done. So the good news is they are trying to shop at other places. Great value, great actress. Love it. I really hope it gets a Netflix deal like Lucifer did. Love the new season of Lucifer. I like when this show could benefit from being on, I think, on Netflix, where they could curse and have a little more fun with it, because they tried to push boundaries and they did great stuff with it. And it's one of the only shows I've ever seen address PTSD in such an adult fashion. So this has to return. I really hope it does.
I do too.
And moving on to other news, and this is going to be fun just to hear Meredith read it.
New Star Wars Darth Vader comic set sets the stage for, well, it says exploring the complexities of Darth Vader is a daunting task, as he is considered to be
one of the baddest villains in the world, is basically what it winds up saying. The article goes on to say, the moment that Vader threw Luke down the shaft in the end of Empire Strikes Back, he starts to see himself go down, and that's the moment of doubt that leads to the Return of the Jedi, a historic ending where Vader decides to choose a side. So we see that moment of break where Vader stops being this monster and starts becoming human again.
Interesting. Now, Darth Vader, of course, is one of my favorite all-time villains. So,
and if you're a gamer, and I don't have $500 to get the new PS5, so. When you see me running that ad for comicbookadvocates.com, no, I'm not raising money for PS5. It really goes to the website. But then once I get all the website stuff paid off, I'm going to try to sell some comics and get PS5, because I saw the footage from Miles Morales' game for the PS5. Oh, my God, I'm in love. This next-gen technology is amazing. We got that for you here tonight. And this is pretty cool, Meredith. Check this out.
Overwatch getting Tracer's Comic Challenge, a new official comic adding to Overwatch's lore, has been released with a new skin challenge coming for Tracer.
So this is again.
That's from Game Rant.
Yeah, and this is. Thank you for mentioning the site, by the way. This is pretty cool. And our last article again came from comicbook.com. This is great because we're seeing that comic book crossover with the different games, and I like it. I think it's a new way to bring people in and get excited about comics again. And this is cool. If you're a Chris Claremont fan and you didn't know about this, there's going to be an anniversary special comic book, which is going to show what Chris Claremont has worked on. A whole bunch of stuff. Marvel's given us that, and I think it's out of place. Let me just, no, for some reason it didn't link right. So I'll fix this in the background, but there's going to be a bunch of stuff for Chris Claremont, and I just, great artist, worked on X-Men, one of the guys I read growing up. Super excited about this. Cannot wait to get this. This is a book that I will go out of my way. And if you notice, there's the young Oro. That's because Storm was a kid when Gambit met him, because all the X-Men were turned into children. I bet you don't know that, you youngins. You youngins don't know your comic book history. That's right. Gambit found a Storm that was a kid. Yep, I do, and I have that comic. That's how old I am. I bought it off the newsstand. Back when there was a newsstand. I forgot. You guys are young. A newsstand is where we used to get these things called newspapers. Newspapers used to tell the truth about the things going on in the world. Think about CNN if it had morals. I'm just saying that's what it is. Imagine if Walter Cronkite, you don't even know who Walter Cronkite is. Forget it. I'm done with you millennials. I'm done. You just don't understand. Rita, get an education. I'm sounding like such an old man. Let's just end this show. Newswatch. Enter the Phoenix this December. So Phoenix Force is coming back, and everyone's getting a Phoenix Force outfit in the Avengers. It's interesting. Yes, Disney, we're able to be bought. No, I don't like it. I like the X-Men. I like Phoenix. This just looks like another cash grab. You get one good thing with Marvel, and then they can't let go of certain things. The Phoenix Force is one of those things. The Phoenix Force was a bad story with the X-Men. I don't know why they went back to revisit this. I am disappointed. But I'm also disappointed that our time with each other has ended. I actually like this format, Meredith. It seemed more fun. It made the news go faster. So that means that we're officially looking for co-hosts for the news. We'll randomly rotate people in and out. If someone wants to pick a day and they can commit to a day, maybe we'll have you on permanently if there's a good vibe. Me and Meredith have done so many videos together. We just know how to hang out and have fun. So I'm looking for more people like that who can show their energy for comic books and their love for comics. But remember that you can also love these things directly from your platform. So share some love. It'll take you to the thing and then give it a like. Meredith, where can they find you?
All right, you guys, go to indievent.com. I'm going to be updating the website. I'm going to be adding people who have confirmed with me for the November event. We're going to be doing cosplay and all kinds of good stuff. You've got 5 seconds. 3, 2. Back to you, Rob.
All right, and that's it for today. We're out of here. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you tomorrow at 11 for the Comics News.